Hey, welcome back to my channel. So, DigiTrends did a great video today on the LG G2 OLED television, and it brought back up a conversation that I had a little earlier in the year, maybe 3 months or so ago, when I asked, are we overlooking the G2 this year? And so, one of the things that he brought up, and I'll just put this out here, the G2 is the brightest OLED on the market right now, right above 1,000 nits. Anyway, it brought up a really great conversation. And I'm hoping for this to be one of those videos where we kind of we talk through this, right? And so, as I've said over time, there can be multiple realities at one given moment. Right now for cinema, the Sony A95k is the best television on the market, according to the HD TV test that he posted a couple of days ago, a week ago. For cinema, the Sony A95k is the best. For gaming, the Samsung S95B is the best, and then you have the G2, and it sits there somewhere. But I would like to debate the fact that for gaming, that the Samsung S95B is the best, and the reason is because the Samsung S95B only has the HDR10 and HDR10 Plus HDR formatting, whereas the LG is FreeSync Premium, G-Sync certified, less than a millisecond response time, and it has full bandwidth HDMI 2.1s and all of the HDR formats. And so I wanted to start this conversation to say the LG G2 or the LG OLED in general, the C2, are more than likely going to be the best OLED for the average and most amount of people that are currently looking for an OLED television. The reason for that is because most people do not use, as I've said over and over again, the full spectrum of features that these newer televisions are coming out with, nor do they actually always understand all of the full features that these are coming. That's not a knock on anybody, because I don't understand all the features that come out on these televisions. We don't use them all on a day-to-day basis. And so the Samsung S95B is for that person that wants the best technology out right now, but isn't necessarily paying attention to the finer details. They want the color, they want the brightness, they want the the saturated hues and all of those good things, but they're not necessarily paying attention to all of those things like black frame insertion and smooth gradation and all of those different things. The Sony A95K is for those of you that can look at this and say that that is maize and not yellow. If you look at that and you say, oh, it's Michigan, it's yellow and blue, then you don't need the Sony A95K. And that is a super overgeneralization of the situation here. But in reality, if you don't look at colors in that way, if you don't look at a color and produce the shade of the color or the hue of the color, if you just call it by its color, more than likely you don't need the Samsung S95B or the Sony A95K. You would be great with the LG C2, G2, and probably most likely the C1 and G1 if you could find stock in those right now. And so I wanted to do this video just as a quick, hey, let's have a conversation. Do you actually need that television? Because some of you have been waiting for the Sony A95K to release. Some of you have been waiting for the Samsung S95B to come down. Some of you are looking at mini LED televisions, and some of you are starting to purchase some of the the Sony A80Js and A80K, all these different things. At the end of the day, walk into the room that you're going to have this television sitting. Ask yourself, is there direct sunlight on the television? If not, you don't need the brightest. Ask yourself, are you the type of person that will look at that Michigan rock there and say that that is maize? If not, you don't necessarily need the QD OLED. But what I can tell you is that every single LG OLED, the C2, the G2, and even the C1s, if you can find those stock, have every feature that you need, and the processing is immaculate on those televisions. They're going to give you smooth motion. They're going to give you all the features that you need, no matter the scenario, whether it's cinema, whether it's television and 4K upscaling, whether it is gaming. It has the most gaming features of any television on the market, and it's not even close. and it's going to give you really great features for cinema. It's going to give you all HDR formats. It's just not going to give you that QD OLED color brightness, but the G2, as Digitrend said today, potentially may be the brightest OLED on the market right now, except when it comes to color saturation and how bright a color will look and pop on that particular panel. And so I wanted to create this video just as in case you need some talking points, right? As you're starting to think through that purchase. We're getting close. We have Prime Day that is starting probably today officially, as I am launching this video today. And you're going to be looking at these sales and you're going to be wanting to make a decision. So the pecking order for the OLEDs: Sony A95k for cinema, Samsung S95B if you want the top of the line technology in the QD OLED in gaming. But if you want the best overall television, I do really believe that it is the LG G2. And then also from there, you can look at potentially for more than the majority, for the majority of you, you can look at last year's C1 models, as they're going to be stupid prices over the next couple days for those, as they combat the new sales of the newer televisions that just came out. So I will link the video here where I said do not overlook the LG G2, and then of course go ahead and check my page and the other videos that I've posted on the S95B, discussions on that, or the Sony A95K, etc. But looking forward to this conversation and looking forward to the communication in the chat section below. As always, stay cozy in that crazy world. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.